Welcome, everyone, to We Are Not Alone, Healing in Color. It's a presentation of Black Mental Matters. That's the space where we hold the mic up to Black mental health, culture, and healing in all its forms. I'm your host, Vince Bailey, and I am very excited as we kick off Black, Indigenous, and People of Color Mental Health Month. Today, we're opening a new chapter, an ongoing series called We Are Not Alone, Healing in Color. Because see, when we talk about mental health in the Black community, we're not just talking about therapy rooms or self-care routines. We're talking about legacy, ancestry, resistance, survival, and we're also talking about connections. Across this planet, our people and people like us have endured systems that tried to break us. Colonization, displacement, war, racism, genocide, and still, we found ways to heal, to pray, to sing, to gather, to remember, and to rise. So this series is an invitation. It's a journey through the healing traditions and lived experiences of other communities, Native Americans, Asians, Latin, Russian, African, Caribbean, and more. Not to replace our practices, but to listen, reflect, and maybe even find new ways of coming home to ourselves. Every guest, every story, every ritual we'll explore in these episodes is going to lead us back to one question. How can this wisdom, this AI, aka ancestral intelligence, nourish Black and brown and yellow and white minds, hearts, and bodies? So whether you're tuning in from Brooklyn or Barbados, the South Side or South Africa, take a breath, take it. Let's begin this journey together. Again, so glad to be here with you. And it gives me great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce my first guest ever and my man who's always got the plan. We call him the Godfather. He is the publisher of Georgia Asian Times. The crowd goes crazy for Mr. Li Wong. Li, how you do?
I'm good, Vince. Thanks for having me as your first guest on your beautiful podcast series.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to be your honorable guest.
Well, it is my pleasure. Li, you and I go back a ways. I don't know where I first met you. I do know it was the ACE, the Asian Cultural Experience at Gwinnett Arena. First time meeting you, and we developed a friendship, and it has definitely been, an honor for me. And I've got an opportunity to work with you. First, tell us, you just got back from Asia. You do a lot of things. Tell us a little bit about your journey, Li.
Well, I make a quick trip to Asia. This is my annual excursion to reconnect with my roots. I'm originally from Malaysia, so I spent some time visiting with some families and friends in Malaysia. And also, I took my son to Thailand, and we had a blast, and I'm showing him Thailand as it is, visiting the temples, the great food destination in Bangkok, and we managed to jump off to the beautiful island of Koh Samui, which probably you heard through the very popular Netflix series, The White Lotus.
Yes.
Shot right there.
Oh, wow.
And I had a chance to provide a beautiful experience for my son, who is a boxing lover and also a Muay Thai aficionado. So he had the chance to practice Muay Thai at one of the local gym there with the professionals. So he really enjoyed that experience. So it's a good trip overall. It's just to reconnect with the roots, so to speak. Yeah.
That's right. That's what I was talking about, that ancestral intelligence, to go back to where it began. And so, like you said, you're originally from Malaysia. There's people don't realize I've been fortunate to work, with you and learn some things. There are so many different ethnicities as it relates to the Asian community. Just like Black folks, it's not a monolith. Talk about that, Li.
That's true. And especially Malaysia, we are a multicultural society. You have the Chinese, you have the ethnic Malays, you have the Indians, you have the Eurasians, the Europeans, everyone live together harmoniously in one place. Of course, there are religious and cultural differences, but we grew up respecting each other's rights and privileges, and we celebrate all the festivals together. And this is what enrich us as in our culture, is to celebrate the differences and to come together and to appreciate each other culture and traditions. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of that, Lee, you have, I think it's since 2004. Is that when you first started the Georgia Asian Times, most influential, 25 most influential Asian Americans in the state of Georgia? And I know that was quite a journey to where it is today. But, I was so thrilled when you gave me the backstory about that event and why you got started. Would you please share with my folks, especially my Black folks? I want you to listen up.
Oh yeah. It's one of those things. Two incidents uh, really inspire me to launch the 25 most influential Asian Americans in Georgia. Firstly, is I have a dear friend, an African American friend, who introduced me to the 100 Black Men Awards Gala. He was intriguingly involved with that gala, and I didn't know much about what it was all about. But he explained to me the history, the background, and I thought, wow, that's very powering that you recognize the 100 most influential, African American men who does good in the society and community, and to recognize their influence. And I'm at that time I was kind of depressed because AJC at the time never wrote positive things about us. When I say us, the Asian American living in Georgia, all I read in the news is the negative news,
Mm,
which is about what we do wrong, the crimes,
mm.
and how we didn't participate. But we do. We are a silent minority, but we contribute in a very positive manner. And we build businesses, as you probably witnesses right here in Gwinnett.
Oh yeah.
Small business is our key strength,
Mm.
but that story was never told, was never shared. And oftentimes in the ranking of the major media, local media like the AJC or the Georgia Trend, the listing of the 100 most influential, you hardly will see any Asian faces right there. And this is where I have some issues, because we do contribute to the economy, we do contribute to the community, we do contribute to the state of Georgia, but there's no voice for us. So that inspired me with everything that's going on to launch this, because I want a platform where the next generation can look up to and be inspired to take a leadership role uh, in reaching out to the community. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I tell you what, I think for the past 7 or 8 years, I don't know how long, but it's been a great ride where I've served as your MC. In fact, there I am. They call me number 26, ladies and gentlemen, out of the top 25 top Asians, most influential Asians. I am known as number 26. But I want to do just our viewers even a better favor, Lee. I'm going to take them on a quick journey. You stay right there, give you just a taste of what that Georgia Asian Times 25 most influential Asian Americans in Georgia is all about.
This award recognizes influential leaders in the people that have made a difference, people that advocate for others, people.
Tonight we celebrate and toast their accomplishment.
Our 5% founding team now grew to over 300 employees, over 10 retail locations.
If your Asian American peers recognize you for the work that you do, you've done something, because they're tough cookies. And I'm grateful for that.
Education can be different. School can be where kids know that they're valued and they belong. And it's not just to memorize facts and information and inventors, but it can be a place for catalysts for change.
I spent the first 50 years of my life on me, and now I am committed to spend the rest of my life to make the most impact to the most vulnerable population, our seniors.
Wow, Lee. Wow, I get goosebumps, man. I was there and I'm getting goosebumps again, man. That was awesome. That was last year's event. And you saw just and what gets me each time, and kind of in line with our Black Mental Matters, when you hear the stories of folks who have quote unquote made it successful, influential. I mean, some of them are heartbreaking. For sure, had to overcome adversity, had to, in a boat and lost family members and things like that. Yet showing resilience and standing on that stage, everybody's just like, oh my goodness, great, great, great achievements, man. I know it's got to make you feel good to be a part of it and to be leading it, in fact.
Yes, I feel very good, and I just hope it inspire the next generation to to continue the legacy of the forefathers, that come before us, and also to contribute to the society. We are, as I say, Americans,
That's right.
and we need to play our part as an American citizen. And it's just that unfortunately the narrative sometimes is not being correctly projected in certain media, and we aim to correct that, and we want to make sure our voice are heard. So that's basically it. Yeah.
There's been some things that have happened here in Georgia and across the country, where there was targeting of the Asian community. I was so proud, though. I was able to see Black and Brown, all of us kind of, coming together like that. And that's what we got to do. We need your help. You need our help. But when things like that, this is again a production of Black Mental Matters and how we process things and how we deal. I mean, there are some differences, there are similarities in where our communities deal with adversity and tragedy. Could you maybe give some insight into some of the things that in the Asian community that that you did or was done to try to address some of this adversity?
Yes, especially during COVID, the the fact that the lockdown has been so brutal, it causes severe mental stress to a certain segment of the Asian American community, especially the young Asian Americans, the youth, and the high schoolers and the college going age, who live with their parents and were unable to escape or under one roof. The pressure of living in under a roof in an Asian American household is very different from your typical mainstream uh, way of life, because you have the older generation, what we call, that came into this country with the legacy, culture, values, and tradition. And they come to America only knowing one thing, which is work hard, to aim high, and never waste time. You know, versus their children who are grew up here as Americans, they tends to adapt to the American way of life, and it's just a cultural clash, the age group clash. And because of that, it causes a lot of mental anguish and stress for the younger folks during COVID. And there were many, many cases during the shutdown and post COVID too, where unfortunately the youth and the young generation, um, serious cases of commit suicide, because there's just no way. The pressure was too high coming from the parents, that they want them to study hard, to excel, and the younger generation just could not escape that. So because of that, there were mental anguish. Because so as a result, we took it upon to educate our community, about the taboo of mental stress, how to identify it, how to talk about it, how to, basically mitigate the situation, especially in certain community where the older generation are very hardcore about pressing, you know, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer, you got to be an engineer, versus these kids, they want to be different. They want to be social media creator. They want to do things that they enjoy rather than listening and following the path or career path of their parents. So it's a huge, generational gap challenges right there. And these issues are usually not talked about in mainstream media, and you hardly hear anybody talking about it. This is widely known in the AAPI community. And thanks to you, you are among the first group that really, other than our platform, that highlight this. There's no other groups that understand these challenges. And my goal is also to bring this awareness to the service provider, and also the local government, the county government, about providing adequate support and services that can help uh, addressing the mental health challenges.
Well, that's again, we say again, we're not alone, because what you just articulated, Lee, took place in a lot of Black homes, a lot of African American homes. Same thing, where dads worked hard, steel mill or whatever kind of profession it was, and then the kids want to do something different, like you said, they're creative, and then you're stuck in the house together. I mean, we share that many, many times over. We all want the best for our kids. I don't care what ethnicity we want to see them. And yes, we want doctors and we want lawyers and engineers, but this is a different world. I talk about AI. You talk about AI a lot, but guess what? AI can't take away a skilled trade job. You a plumber or a roofer or air conditioner, but a tiger dad or mom, tigers, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear that. No, you're going to continue. And the kids are like, hey, I want to do something different. And it's something that we share in common. And it's taboo, as you say, again, to talk about the fact of there being some mental health challenges in our community. No one wants to say that it's me. that's one of the reasons for me doing that, because as I've shared many times, I faced it in my own family, and we want to make sure that there are some resources. So I look forward to partnering again with you on that as well, as we move forward to eradicate these stigmas in our community. And as I was saying to you earlier, when you hear the stories of adversity and overcoming, same thing on this side. Say, folks that came up from Mississippi or Alabama or whatever were subjected. But what's crazy is, if you do your research, you were there with us down there. The Asian community, I mean, think of it. When I meet someone, they say, "Oh, I'm from New Orleans." What? You're looking at them, you're thinking they're from some exotic place. They're like, "I'm from New Orleans." I was just talking with a young lady, Pam, the other day. She's Vietnamese. She's like, "I'm from Hot Springs, Arkansas." Well, I lived in Arkansas. Oh, the Hot Springs, Arkansas. We share so much in common.
For example, the food fusion is very big right now. You have the Vietnamese, Cajun slash Viet food fusion, and this is where the Vietnamese community loves the po' boys, the shellfish from the delta,
Yes.
and the crawfish, and they fusion it into with their Vietnamese flavor, the way they cook it. Now it's so popular in Gwinnett County. There were countless amount of restaurants that specialize in that. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is, a byproduct of the two community coming together, the greatness of the food. That's
Mm-hmm.
one. And also you will see very in the near future the fusion of music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a great lover of African American musician.
I know you're a Motown man. He gonna ask me, "Vince, you know anything about the Four Tops?" I'm like, "Come on, man. Come on, Lee. Vince, you know anything about the Temptations?" Come on, Lee.
I'm a big fan of Miles Davis and all the great jazz, Quincy Jones. In fact, I got a chance to meet him, and he personalized an autograph for me.
Wow.
And
Well,
that's amazing. I still have it. That is my prized possession.
mm,
An autograph from the great Quincy Jones.
wow. Yes. Yeah, I got to see that. I want to see that. Well, and conversely, working with the night market folks, the K-pop. The K-pop kids, and I would say at least 50-60% of the kids who were performing K-pop, Korean pop, were Black kids, were African American, and I mean they are in it full blown. The costumes, the
Yes.
dances, the music.
Yeah, and K-pop is huge. For example, the super girl group Blackpink, and they're going on tour coming up in starting July. And unfortunately, they're not making a stop in Atlanta. They're making stop in LA, New York, Chicago, and it's already pre-sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows how big the music influence one another, and it's so the potential is limitless. We just need to have an open mind, come together, break bread, know each other, and there's so many common ground we can work together, especially now with the advances of AI. Things are going to go very, very rapidly in very different direction. I just came back from Asia, and the AI adaptation over there is just incredible.
Mm,
I don't want to put America back in the way, speak ill of America. It's just that we are not adapting AI as quickly as we should,
mm-hmm.
and it's controlled by the big groups. And right now, things on in Asia is they're very creative. They're doing things so many ways, so many practical ways that help the ordinary folks to improve their lives using AI. So
Yes.
this is what I like to see here, because I think here is too much restriction, too much regulation, Well, who am I to say? I'm not a politician, so I'll leave it to the folks in Washington to make the right call in order for us to progress and to use AI intelligently to improve our life and productivity.
Well, you said something big, because yes, we're talking about culture. Yes, we're talking about, but it's also economics, and it's no doubt that if I go to an event and have some Vietnamese, Chinese, whatever kind of food, and it's good, then I'm going to spend my money at other restaurants in that community. And conversely, I encourage all my Asian friends out there to have some barbecue, have some soul food. I know you eat it. I've
Oh
watched
yeah,
it. I know you know.
I'm a big fried chicken fan.
See what I'm saying? A fried chicken, it don't have to be double. It can be regular fried chicken. I'm telling you, it's some good stuff. And that, is again a cultural exchange as we, share with one another. But again, that economics, and it helps, rotate in our communities. And I mean, when it comes down to it, that's what keeps us all moving and grooving here on this planet. So, while we want to feel good, and it's great like that, but it does come down to, and by supporting one another, by learning about one another, by experiencing different things. That's my whole mission, man. You'd be surprised at how, because hey, needless to say, Lee has written that check before. I did some work, that is a cultural exchange. And as a result of working with you, then other opportunities present itself, and vice versa. I hope, where I'm able to introduce you to people, and there's opportunities. It's bigger than what we think a lot of times.
Oh yes, the world is getting very small, so we may not be physically close, but digitally, it's just like a split second away. So
Well, Lee, I want to thank you so much again, Li Wong. Folks, again, the event is coming up. Again, this is my favorite picture right there. When I was named number 26 out of 25, but it has been, I think, this is from 2017 right there. I know you recognize some of those faces. You've had Senator Ossoff was there, and I remember it was an epic introduction of him, like the Chicago Bulls. That was so much fun. There's Cam presenting. What was that? Some Asian. What was that she was presenting that time?
well, I
You
forgot
remember?
what it is.
It was some. That's some food there. That's some type of food she was presenting.
Oh yeah, that was the water vegetables that was banned at the time.
That was so he was excited. Look at, I'm shocked on my face. There you are with the Sheik, Sheik, the senator, Jimmy. This guy Laotian, who is a fashionista to say the least. All around the world. That's 2022. Mr. Park. Sonny Park speaking to the audience. There we go. There's Ann with Gwinnett and Chandri Law. I mean, just some great folks. I've had some great relationships have developed as a result. And so, again, I hate to date things, but I encourage everyone. It's coming up on July 11th at the Canton House in Duluth, and talk about some good food, Lee. Oh my gosh, been there, done that. And I'm talking authentic. This isn't just some shrimp fried rice kind of mess, which is not bad. I like shrimp fried rice.
Yes,
but
Canton House boss actually curated a special menu for us.
Are you serious?
For our event, yeah. So the experience is totally different from other groups' event. So ours is going to be top notch.
Okay. Again, I want you to write that down, put it on your calendar. July the 11th, Georgia Asian Times, 25 most influential Asian Americans. Now you've added Pacific Islanders in Georgia as well. So quickly, we got about a minute. Why did you add Pacific Islanders? It used to be just Asian Americans.
Well, it is a narrative coming down from the Obama White House that we should also include the Pacific Islanders, which is typically the islands in between U.S. and Asia. There are some islands that we consider as part of Asia, so we need to include that. For example, the islands of Guam.
Guam, Philippines. Would that be
No,
considered?
Philippines is its own country.
Is this
Guam, Hawaii, and all the small islands like the Cook Islands of New Zealand. Yeah, all those. There
See?
are folks that actually are from from those islands that are living in Atlanta.
Oh, wow. Well,
You
we
know,
welcome them as well. Welcome, welcome. And see, we run out, but it's so much more because people don't really know China is its own thing, right? China is its own thing as opposed to but folks lump us all into, they lump all black folks, they lump us. No, we're gonna
Well, I would like to say is I encourage any of the African American community folks who are in small business who want to expand your network, contacts, and also folks who want to learn more about the Asian American culture. And if you have plans to maybe expand your business or to expand your network to Asia, or you plan to study in Asia, for example, you want to study in Japan, Korea, China, or any of the Southeast Asian countries, do come, because this is a chance for you to get your feet wet before you go over. You make very good network. For example, most, as you probably witnessed this, most of our event that we host, we will have the major diplomats from all the Asian countries represented, and they will come. For example, the Consul General of Japan, Korea, Taiwan usually will show up, and this is a good time for you to network one-on-one with them.
Right. Well, very good. Well, we'll see you guys at the upcoming event. Lee, we'll be talking to you soon. We thank you so much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, we're not alone. We're not alone at all. And we can heal in color together. We'll see you next time.